Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer.
But who is he?
Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer.
And who is he?
Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer.
And what he do?
And it's gonna react to all the self-snitching.
Hi, this is Bruce Rivers. There's a verdict just in. Criminal Lawyer Reacts. We're going to be watching the verdict in the Arbery trial. So stay tuned. We'll bring it to you in just a second.
Count 8, false imprisonment. We, the jury, find the defendant, Greg McMichael, guilty. Count 9, criminal attempt to commit a felony. We, the jury, find the defendant, Greg McMichael, guilty. This 24th day of November, 2021.
So everything except for mouth.
As to William R. Bryan. In the Superior Court of Glenn County, State of Georgia versus William R. Bryan. Case number CR 2000433. Jury verdict 4. Count 1, malice murder. We, the jury, find the defendant, William R. Bryan, not guilty. Count 2, felony murder. We, the jury, find the defendant, William R. Bryan, not guilty. Count 3, felony murder. We, the jury, find the defendant, William R. Bryan, guilty. Count 4, felony murder. We, the jury, find the defendant, William R. Bryan, guilty. Count 5, felony murder. We, the jury, find the defendant, William R. Bryan, guilty. Count 6, aggravated assault. We, the jury, find the defendant, William R. Bryan, not guilty. Count 7, aggravated assault. We, the jury, find the defendant, William R. Bryan, guilty. Count 8, false imprisonment. We, the jury, find the defendant, William R. Bryan, guilty. Count 9, criminal attempt to commit a felony. We, the jury, find the defendant, William R. Bryan, guilty. Signed this 24th day of November by the foreperson. Good, MC. The court having read the verdicts and accepted the verdicts, anything from the state?
No, Your Honor, nothing from the state.
Anything from the defense?
We ask the jury to be polled, Your Honor.
All defendants ask the jury to be polled? All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask each of you individually a set of 2 questions.
Is this your true and correct
verdicts that I have just read? If you could please respond when you hear your juror number.
So they'll be taken into custody
Juror number
right
1,
after this hearing.
you have heard the
That's
verdicts
the last
read.
thing that'll happen.
Were these your verdicts then? And are
So the
these
main
your
count,
verdicts now?
the count of malice, murder malice,
Juror number
that is,
2,
they only
you have heard
found
the
Travis
verdicts
McMichael
read.
guilty
Were
of that
these your
count.
verdicts then?
They found
Were these
the
your
other 2
verdicts now?
didn't. The other 2 are guilty of all the other aiding and abetting type counts. When aiding and abetting, that means you're liable for the crimes of another.
You have heard the
Like
verdicts
you helped
read.
the other person.
Were these your verdicts then? And are these your verdicts now?
Yes.
Juror number 4.
So now they're polling
You
the
have
jury
heard
to
the
make sure
verdicts read.
each one of the
Were these your
jurors
verdicts
says that's
then?
their true and
Are
correct
these your
verdict.
verdicts now? Juror number 5. You have heard the verdicts read. Were these your verdicts then? And are these your verdicts now?
Yes, Your Honor.
Juror number 7. You have heard the verdicts read. Were
So,
these your verdicts then?
Travis
And are these your
McMichael
verdicts
is likely
now?
looking at life without parole.
Juror
I'll have to
number
look
8.
into exactly
You
what
have
the
heard the
others are
verdicts
looking
read.
at, but we'll give you an
Were these
update
your
on that.
verdicts then? And are these your verdicts now?
Yes, Your Honor.
Juror number 9. You have heard the verdicts read. Were these your verdicts then? And are these your verdicts now?
Yes, Your Honor.
Juror number 10. You have heard the verdicts read. Were these your verdicts then? And are these your verdicts now?
Yes, Your Honor.
Juror number 11. You have heard the verdicts read. Were these your verdicts then? And are these your verdicts now?
Yes, Your Honor.
Juror number 12. You have heard the verdicts read. Were these your verdicts then? And are these your verdicts now?
Yes, Your Honor.
And juror 16. You have heard the verdicts read. Were these your verdicts then? And are these your verdicts now?
Yes, sir.
The jury has been polled. Anything further from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
From Greg McMichael?
No, Your Honor.
From Mr. Bryan?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, what that means with the court having accepted your verdict is that your role in this case is now at an end. What we're going to do today is I'm going to have all of you, the panel and the three alternates, go ahead and retire into the jury room. I'm going to address a couple matters logistically with you in the jury room once we get done here. But before we do that, and before I excuse you, I do want to thank you publicly for your service here in Glenn County. It has been a long trial, and I appreciate the fact that you have been attentive. You've listened to the evidence, and that is what we ask in this court. It's a very simple ask in a very complex way, so it's appreciated. When we all got together, I say we all got together, when we got together at different times, I said that I was going to thank you a number of times and how I was going to tell you I do truly appreciate your time here. Hopefully you understand why I said that when we started. I do also hope that you got a little bit of an insight into what goes on in a trial and maybe understand a little bit more of how important it is for members of our community to come down and be part of this process and serve as jurors in this community. So again, thank you for that service. And I'll come address y'all in just a moment. You are excused.
So we've just witnessed all three defendants in the Arbery trial have been convicted. Travis McMichael, the one who actually fired the shots that killed Ahmaud Arbery, he was convicted of all counts. He was convicted of malice murder and all the rest of the things that flowed from that. Then you've got his father, Mr. McMichael. He got acquitted of the malice murder, ostensibly because he didn't fire the shot, but he was convicted of all the other subsequent counts, including felony murder and including the false imprisonment, which means that the jury did not buy their argument of citizen's arrest. Then you have Mr. Bryan. He was convicted of all but three of the counts. He was acquitted of the malice murder, and he was acquitted of the ag assault with a firearm, ostensibly because he didn't have a firearm. And he did have some plausible path to acquittal, but the jury didn't buy his story either. And what he did, he was convicted of aggravated assault with a vehicle, and that is the predicate felony for felony murder. Now, all three defendants will be sentenced separately. And Travis McMichael is going to be looking at life without parole. And the other two defendants are going to probably be looking at something close to life. So, and when you take this case and you juxtapose it with the Rittenhouse trial, just remember what I said all along. Who's chasing who? Kyle Rittenhouse was being chased. And those murders, or those homicides, happened as a result of being chased. The McMichaels and Mr. Bryan were doing the chasing. They were blocking him in, they were assaulting him with a vehicle, they were imprisoning him, and then he was ultimately shot. And that was the difference between those two cases. Just result in both cases. I think the jury got it right both times. And so we'll stay tuned for the sentencing. They'll have aggravating and mitigating circumstances brought both by the prosecution and the defense, and then they'll have the arguments as to what they believe the proper sentence should be. So stay tuned, and we'll see you next time here on Criminal Lawyer Reacts. Remember, if you're watching this, sign up for Patreon and sign up with us on Instagram, and follow us on Twitter, and like and subscribe. We're doing a good thing. See you next time.